What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow me, turn the notifications on. Right now my watch percentage is 89% not subscribed. I'll throw the little chart right here. So please subscribe if you see this. Today's video is going to get me in trouble. Hopefully not. We're not going to show anyone that where I work with what we're doing. But everyone's always in my comments saying that I only show the good side of the psych hospital. So today, we are going to show the negative side. I am going to give you all the negative things I can see from a staff's perspective. That way people don't always say that I just show the good. So let's just hope HR doesn't find this. Let's go. Okay, so I made a list because I knew that I was not going to be able to do this on my own. Also, real quick, if you can see, well, you can't see, but there's a huge bit of like Christmas stuff right here. We are doing vlogmas on our other channel on Becoming the Camerons. I will link it in the bio. Please go follow that too. It only has 7,000. We want it to get big like this channel. All right, let's go, because I'm a little nervous about doing this video because it wasn't planned. I was reading the hate comments that I got on all my videos lately, and I was like, okay, they want the negative side. Let's give them the negative side. Also, I've been in this hoodie for 6 days. It's my favorite hoodie and I'm never taking it off. Okay. Let's start. And I want you guys to know that this is not to dog my hospital. It's not to dog mental health care systems. It's not to dog psych wards. It's my honest opinion on where the flaws are as a staff and that I can see. So maybe if a psych hospital, someone sees this, they can fix it. These are issues at our hospital. I've worked there for 3 years, so I consider myself pretty well-rounded there. These are the flaws I see. So my first one would be, so we're supposed to get breaks as staff. That doesn't really happen. At previous jobs I worked at, we got like a lunch break and we got a break in between. Here, it's so hard because they're understaffed, and that's actually one of my bullet points, but you don't get a full break. In the beginning, when I first started working there, you would get a full 30 minutes. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna run to the fast food real quick. I'll be right back. And then the further along I got, it goes in like cycles where we have enough staff where you can take it, where we don't. We have enough staff so you can take it, then you can't. And it just felt like we were never getting breaks, and it was almost impossible to go to the bathroom. Like, you would have to be like, so-and-so to the unit, so-and-so the unit, I need a bathroom break over the walkies like 4 or 5 times before someone could come on. So that was like a major like red flag to me. Like, we just don't have enough staff for breaks, and that should not happen. This pertains to me and all the staff. The only difference is, so it's the burnout rate. I tough it out, whereas a lot of staff, when they get burned down, they just quit. They just quit, or they no-show and just quit. And I feel like it's very common there because we get burned out rather easy because it's an intense job. It is traumatic for both sides. You work long hours, and obviously a bunch of this is hitting on like my notes, but the burnout rate's super high. And so like I will do a video one day on like how to avoid burnouts when working at a high intense job. But with the burnouts comes over a very high turnover rate there, which means people are always quitting. People are always leaving. And that means we're always looking for staff, which leads me back to the beginning where we don't have enough staff for breaks half the time, so we just don't get them. Going on to that is food. So the food is good there, but I have severe food allergies and some staff is diabetic and stuff, so it's really hard. Our cafeteria people, it's gotten a little better, but a year ago, our cafeteria people would just make us cry. Like, they were so mean. And I love them. They were good people, but they were so snappy that if I ever asked for something, I would leave in tears. And I was like, you just wouldn't go down and ask them for anything. But we weren't allowed and aren't allowed to bring in outside food. And I get the reason. It's because we don't want to eat Pizza Hut in front of you guys. But at the same time, some of us have food allergies. So that's kind of like a negative side for me. But if we got lunch breaks, we could bring in our own food and eat it away from the kids. So then it circles right back to all of it. We get hurt very easily. And I feel like this is, again, I think everything winds down to staffing and understaff. We get hurt easily, and it's because, so right now there's barely any males working there. So it's all women, and the boys unit can be kind of scary. And I don't usually work boys, but sometimes we have to go over and help, or like we're understaffed. Everything follows back to we're understaffed. But it's also hard because like we have a lot of kids and we get a lot of violent kids who want to hurt staff, and so people who aren't trained in holds well enough will get us hurt. There's like a thing that I do on the unit where if you're 3 months and you're new, I'm not putting you in a hold with me. If we absolutely have to do a hold on someone, you're not going in a hold with me. I'm gonna have you watch. Because I remember I wasn't comfortable with the hold until about a year into it, but you also have to you have to protect yourself and these kids. And the only time I will do a hold is if a kid's coming after me. Like if a kid is violently trying to hurt me, then they have to be put in a hold, which is a touchy subject because I hate holds. I would rather do like TST, which is like talking it down, any day. But that's why staff gets hurt, is because some of the staff aren't trained enough, they're not confident enough, they don't know what they're doing. The kids never get hurt in the holds. It always backfires and it's like staff. You have to come to this job. Here's the negative side. You come to this job and you get a kid in your face this close, cussing you out, calling you every name in the book, telling you that they're going to snap your neck, going after you, going like this, trying to get you to flinch. Like, that's a really downside of the job. Is like, don't get me wrong, some of these kids are great, but there's some kids that will get in your face and egg you on till you fight them. And that's really hard because obviously we're not going to fight them, but to have someone this close to your face cussing you out and like calling you horrible names, it's a lot. Like, it just is. The management, I've worked in 2 hospitals like this. The management is not great in either, and I feel like it's because sometimes our voices aren't heard. Like, they don't see sometimes like what we need, what we, and a lot of it they can't fix because it's like, hey, I need extra staff, and we don't have extra staff because everyone's burned out, or because they quit, or like because a lot of people come onto this job with the savior complex. Like, I'm gonna save all these kids and everything's gonna be great and I'm gonna help them. But then they realize that these kids have gone through a lot of trauma and it's not going to be a one and done. You're going to sit there with them and you're going to support them and you're going to be their cheerleaders and you're going to talk to them. And yeah, they might go after you, but if they go after you, walk back in tomorrow like it never happened, because they've been through some stuff and they're learning better coping skills, and accidents happen and like trust is earned, it's not given. And a lot of times they don't want to like go through all that. They just want to like be like, boom, you're good. And it's like, no, you have to work with these kids. Like, use your heart. Put yourself in their position, let them open up to you and build that trust relationship you need with them so that they can learn that like there are good people in this world. You can't just go up to a kid with a traumatic past and be like, you're fine, let's talk. No, I'll like do little things. Like, if a kid doesn't want to talk to me, I'll sit by him. You don't have to talk to me right now, but when you're ready, I'm right here. That doesn't work. I'll write on a sticky note a joke. You may not like me now, and I slide the joke to him. And eventually just all these little nice gestures will add up and something will click and they'll like open up to you, or they'll trust you more. So like, a lot of people think the job's gonna be super easy and you're just gonna go in there and be like, I'm gonna help everyone. And no, it's like, it's a really hard job. You really have to work hard for these kids. And at the end of the day, your hard work pays off, but you have to be dedicated and willing to give them the time that it takes to help them. But management, they just don't, and another thing is like the rules that's on my list, the rules change all the time. We've changed charting ways like 4 or 5 times. We've changed, rules on the unit. One day there's masks, next day there's not. Next day, and I feel like our rules for the kids are very set, but for staff, like the way we do things, it just changes so much that it's really hard to keep up with it. And I don't feel like, the both hospitals I've worked at, I feel like they haven't had good communication with their employees. Also, my first boss ever at the Psych hospital was amazing. Other than that, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Okay, so I put some staff on my list, and it's because of this. So you have staff like me, and everyone always is in my comments going, I would be offended if, I saw this video and I worked with you and you're like, I'm the kid's favorite. Well, here's why I can say that. While everyone else is, off doing whatever on the unit, I am sitting there with the kids. On everyone's off days when they're not at the hospital, I come up and I bring the kids stuff. I make a point to call and check on them. I make that extra mile. So yeah, sometimes I am the favorite staff there, and it's because I really go the extra mile, because some of these kids, well, all of them, deserve it. Some of these kids are foster kids with no family. Just calling up there and saying, hey, will you tell them I checked on them, will change their day. Will change it drastically. By bringing a kid a snack who, you know, is really struggling because they're LOA and they don't know what placement they're going, but they've asked for a snack, this type of snack, and they haven't gotten it, and you get it approved by their therapist. By bringing that up there, it changes their mood. So some staff there, like any job, is just going to be there for the paycheck. It is. Like, some of them are just going to sit there. Some of them are just going to let you watch TV all day. Some of them are just going to, like, zone out when you're, like, talking to them. Some of them aren't going to sit with you through when you're not in crisis, but when you're, like, kind of just sad, they're not going to sit there with you. Whereas I'm going to sit there, we're going to run groups, we're going to make sure you do therapy, we're going to have fun, and I'm also going to be there the whole way for you. So, like, every job has bad employees. And that's why I think I get so defensive in my comments, is, like, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, no, they're bad employees or stuff like that. And I'm like, every job has bad employees. Trust me. When I worked at the TV station, there were bad employees. Every job has that. You just have to, you know, go with it. You have to, you know, like the good ones and build up the bad ones, or like compensate for them, is at least what I try to do. Like, if I am struggling with the person I'm working with on the unit, I'll usually tell my boss to give me someone else, because because the girls unit, if it's dangerous or if there's like a lot of fights, I need someone who has my back. But at the same time, sometimes you're just going to get a bad employee. It happens. We've all had bad bosses. We've all had bad employees, whether it's from Starbucks to teaching to school to whatever. Everyone has had a bad experience with employees. And I always tell kids, like, you know, one psych hospital can be bad, but the other one can be good. You can go into McDonald's and it can be horrible customer service. But just because that one has horrible customer service doesn't mean the next McDonald's is going to have horrible customer service. So, oh my gosh, people, stop blowing my phone up, because it's all about different experiences at different places. I turned it off. Let's see what else is on my list. We're left to do a lot. So one thing that I don't like about the hospital, and it was working nights, is we were, and this could be just me being really petty, we were expected to do laundry, clean all of the stuff, clean the units, clean everything, and it was kind of like, shouldn't we have people do this? Like, and like, we really don't get paid that much. Like, why are we, when we're supposed to be charting and stuff, we're being, you know, on, I could get a lot of hate from that from work, because I've mentioned that and then I got ripped to shreds. I think the amount of stuff that night shift has to do is a little overdone. It's a lot more of like maintenance than it is with the kids, and like what they should be focusing on is, like, in my eyes, they should be making the plans for the next person tomorrow. Like, maybe not like write out their plans, because I'm very like territorial over, like, I want to do this and I have my lessons plans like pulled, but maybe just like prep the unit, or like make sure the coloring pages are in, or the marker count, or like just the little stuff that like they can help around, and less maintenance, more like helping on the unit. The other thing is, so our hospital has agency and then they have like the employees, and they let go of agency for a while because we had enough employees. Well, guess what? Corona came around and all the employees got scared because our hospital kept having cases, and they quit. So now we don't have agency and we don't have those employees because they quit. So where are we? Really low. Here's this. Census is a big one. It varies so much. I feel like there's never any consistency. We'll have like 10 kids one day, 2 the next, 10 kids one day, 5 the next. Like, there's obviously no way to control it, but like, to me, that's like, it just drives me nuts. The uniforms we have to wear. Okay, so you guys get to wear scrubs. Let us wear whatever shirt we want. It drives me nuts. So we are told to wear scrub bottoms, right? Let me wear a scrub top. Let me wear a scrub top. Let me wear a t-shirt. At my old job, we could wear any Kansas City shirt we wanted, as long as it was Kansas City. We could wear it to work with scrub bottoms. They will not let us wear anything but these stupid shirts that, sorry, if you're my boss, they're not stupid, they're very pretty. We have to wear them. I don't like them. They are very cheaply made, and everything sticks to them. And like, my other thing is, like, when we get put in, like, kids will throw food at us or whatever, and like they don't have extra shirts, so like we'll change into like a scrub top, but the scrub tops don't fit us. So if you had just let us wear the scrub tops from the beginning, we could wipe the food off and not have to change. But that's me being petty. I just don't like the shirts, and I can't even show you because it has our logo all over it. Oh, here. I wish our hospital, so we can have our phones out, clearly for safety reasons. Maybe not, we have walkie-talkies, but maybe like a text system where like at my old job, you'd walk in and if you need something, you just send. And like they try to imply this at the hospital, but they do this thing all the time where they come up with new and innovative ideas and then they never push through with them. Like we were supposed to have boards, electronic boards that had like the names and numbers of the kids, like where their rooms were. This little text message system, which clearly didn't work. Like there's just, I feel like there's always something, this like new kitchen staff area they made. There's always like new ideas being pushed out, but no one follows through with them. And then they take away like stuff. I also feel like they don't, I'm not even going to go into that because the pay is horrible. That's another thing. If you're thinking about going to a psych hospital, realize you're not going to get paid a lot, but it's worth it. So this might get me fired. I hope it doesn't. I hope no one sees this, but everyone's always like, I only show the good side. So I wanted to show the negative side per like employee point of view. I can do a kid's point of view one next, but I think it's very important to show both sides. So remember, it might be a bad day, month, year. It's not a bad life. I love you guys.